Stop right there, criminal scum. This is part 2 of a two-part video. The first part being over on my channel, NobleKnightSerg. Hey there, how's it going, everyone? So, you should go over to my channel to check out part 1. Since this video is part of a collaboration, the last thing Oz did. It's good. Both parts are really good, but part 1 is just a bit better. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed both parts.
Isn't Bandai the people who make the Digimon games?
Oh god, I said we were going to bring this up, but...
we can just touch on it, but yeah. And
it is them, and they also help Sakurai with Smash.
Really?
Yes, they also help. They started with Smash 4, helping Sakurai with that.
Right.
And I think they're still helping him with Ultimate.
No, definitely. We really have to... we gotta take Pokemon away from its parents.
And it's not in, like...
Send Pokemon to summer camp for the...
And it's not, like, out of hate towards Game Freak or anything, but they're doing a lot of bad decisions, if we're being honest. One, keeping their company small. Pokemon is such a huge thing nowadays. Like, understandable, Gen 3 if you want to stay small, even Gen 4 and Gen 5 if you want to stay a small company. Yes, because a small company could handle games like that. But now that Pokemon has grown to the extent it has, a small company can't really... Yeah, there's no excuse. Also, one of the excuses that they did, going to their dislikes real quick, was that they weren't going to implement the national dex in order to focus on the graphics of the game. The animations, the graphics, most of the animations are ported from the 3DS version, so same with the models. A lot of people don't believe this, but everything's there. Hop's animations are the same as
How's. And that, that was so jarring to see in the game. And even now, if I'm talking about Pokemon and talking about Hop, I'll often call him How.
Yeah, it did happen to me a lot as well. And another thing is, everything would have been, like, understandable. Like, I understand, like, using the same animations and reusing assets from the previous generations. If the graphics actually fit with what they were saying, but I'm sorry. And I hate being one of these people because I was against these people before the game came out, but why the hell do a lot of the graphics from a Nintendo Switch game that came out in 2019 look like a fucking Nintendo 64 game?
I thought for sure you were going to bring up the PS2 analogy, and I was waiting for it, but you're right. You are completely right. I've actually seen some people talking about, like, and it's pretty easy to notice that when you're in the Pokemon camp, the Pokemon have so much more personality to them. And even now that we can somewhat have Pokemon following us as slow as they are, there's a little bit more life to them. Like, if you take a Pokemon like Covenite out, it will fly, but it'll also sit down. Why can't they do that in the actual battles? How hard would that be to implement?
For a small company like Game Freak, it wouldn't. And a lot of people are going to be like, oh, you can't blame them, they're small, then...
They have the money. Pokemon is the biggest franchise. Like,
another thing is that Game Freak... there's a point that a lot of the Game Freak defenders made. Game Freak opts to stay small, not only because they actually don't have the money. All the money that they make for Pokemon, they get a small percentage. It's the Pokemon company that keeps most of the money, because the Pokemon company makes money, makes a percentage off the games, and then makes everything else that the Pokemon company makes. They make a percentage off Pokemon Go, the spin-offs, merchandise, anime.
Well, you'd think that if Pokemon doesn't want to damage its brand as badly as it has, they would maybe give a little bit more money. I hate to say it like that, but yeah. Yeah,
they should totally, like, focus on...
Because it's their core image.
Yeah, the main series games are the core image of the... Like, I get that they make so much more money off stuff like TCG, merchandise, and anime, but what people want, what everyone wants, is a Breath of the Wild style Pokemon. I don't want to make that comparison, but it's true. That's what we all want. We want an open world Pokemon game.
Like, listen, genuinely, if Pokemon wanted to, they have all of the resources to make a Breath of the Wild Pokemon game. I don't even really think it's the fact of execs at the top hitting them in the kneecap. At this point in time, it just feels almost like a stubborn pride to them to keep. Yes. So it's like they keep putting out shit, and they're like, "Hey, but we still get tons of money. So why should we try and be better?"
That's the worst part of it.
Like, I feel so many bad for being a part of this because we still bought the DLC knowing this, and we're still supporting a game that's, in all essences, just being a piece of shit because it can.
Yeah, but in all reality, even if we hadn't supported, or like even if everyone that was against Sword and Shield hadn't supported, Sword and Shield would have still broken records.
I know.
That's the sad truth. There's way too many people that will just consume Pokemon for the sake of being Pokemon.
I'm honestly one of those people.
Sadly, I'm also one of those.
I'm chasing that feeling of being a kid and feeling like it could still happen one day. Maybe someday Pokemon will be real. Maybe one day this stuff will knock me out of the park like it did when I was younger. But it feels so hard to reach that anymore. The closest I can get is the Pokemon Adventures manga, which 10 out of 10, by the way.
That is such a good manga. And since you brought up the manga, I actually want to make a clean transition to story. What story was there to Sword and Shield? Like, come on. I mean, yes, I get it. People don't play Pokemon for the story, blah, blah, blah. I've heard this a million times. But, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, Pokemon Black and White, Black and White 2.
Black and White and Black and White 2, favorite Pokemon games. They had the best story. And I do believe, isn't Gestus the only villain who tries to kill you?
Screw Gestus. But yes. I think that's my only disappointment of Black and White and Black and White 2, Getsus. Mm-hmm. It generally is disappointing due to the fact because he just turned out to be a Giovanni.
Yeah.
But N, holy shit, N is such a good character.
N is seriously amazing. Oh, speaking on all of this, where the hell was Looker in this game? Because this ties into story. Looker hasn't been absent from a Pokemon game since Diamond and Pearl and Platinum.
Yeah, he actually has been in previous games. That has been confirmed that Looker has been in previous games.
Exactly. So why wasn't he in this one? I know this is probably just a nitpick, but when you think about it, it's been like a part of Pokemon's continuity for such a long time that for them to cut it out.
Gen 3 is the only one where he didn't come out.
Huh?
I think Gen 3 is the only one where he doesn't come out.
No, he hasn't been in 1 or 2.
No, he was in both of those.
Really?
Yeah, it was confirmed with Pokemon Generations. But there is a man that mentions the International Police Force back in Gen 1 and back in Gen 2.
Well, that's not specifically Looker, but...
I think it was confirmed that it was Looker. Either that or the confirmation was given when Pokemon Generations came out. But Looker is in both of those generations.
Well, regardless, point still remains.
He actually raids the Giovanni's gym after Red battles Giovanni and Giovanni disappears.
Well, that's pretty cool. I did not know this. Okay.
Yes.
But the point remains.
Where was
it's
Looker?
just
now
little
that you're saying that,
like
where the hell was he?
felt absent from this game.
Yeah. Wow. Actually, I didn't even realize that. And Looker's one of my favorite Pokemon characters in the whole franchise.
Exactly. And that's something that's been frustrating with me with Pokemon for a while. Is that we keep getting these moments of hinting towards an overarching story between the games that are never followed up upon. And this is, like I said, part of a bigger issue I have with Pokemon as a whole and not just Sword and Shield. But if you look at it, ever since X and Y, not X and Y, it's Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, you get events such as Looker washing up on the beach without any memory. Then you have the issue in Sun and Moon where you have that whole thing with parallel worlds, and this woman, I believe she's a frontier brain, showing up in Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Annabelle or something like
that. Yeah, Annabelle.
Yes.
So it feels like Pokemon keeps picking up these plot points and dropping them last minute.
I mean, they kind of did use those plot points in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
They used them a little bit.
A little bit?
Oh, shut up. You know what I mean.
Giovanni from a different universe that literally beats Red, acquires Mega Mewtwo depending on which game, X or Y, goes and fucking hires every other villain won in their timeline.
Listen, I get it. He pulls off a JoJo Eyes of Heaven. I get it.
I wasn't gonna say that, but goddamn it, you're
I
right.
beat you to it.
I said I wasn't gonna say that.
But point remains. Pokemon is notorious in my mind for picking up plot points and just ditching them that generation. And I feel like since Sword and Shield was such a bare game when it came to story, they could have picked up on so much. But do you mind if I rant for just a second on the Sword and Shield story?
I mean, I have nothing to say about the unexistent story that this game has, so please go for it.
Here we go. Alrighty, as somebody who literally plays Pokemon for their story, as dumb as that is, I've always been someone who loves to see the integration of Pokemon into possible crazy events. The thing is, Sword and Shield had the making for an interesting story in so many chances that they could have done. Listen, we start with the fact, obviously Rose, and spoilers if you haven't played the game, Rose is revealed to be the main villain of Pokemon Sword and Shield.
No! Fuck that, he's not a villain. He's
quote unquote! I'm using it. I am using it in the sense of what Pokemon uses villains as, okay? Do you get me?
Okay.
Because by that same logic, Piers could be considered the Pokemon villain, but we're not doing that. Okay? Continue. What I'm saying here is that they had so many pieces in place. And I felt like they did this intentionally and they had to drop the story. So back to Rose. He is the example, like, a lot of people have pointed this out, that he is kind of a Walt Disney figure, or not Walt Disney. I was thinking of some other name, Bill Gates, whatever. A rich person. Shut up!
I'm sorry, it does make sense. You didn't have to, like, correct yourself. That analogy, Walt Disney, that makes sense.
Well, point remains. He's a rich guy in charge of stupid amounts of the region. And he's like somebody mentioned, he's an oil tycoon in a lot of ways because he's in charge of the power plant and all of this stuff. So perhaps naturally they could have made that work into him wanting to save energy. But this game has its climax because Rose couldn't have waited one day for a problem that would be in 1,000 years. That does not make sense at all. Shut up.
No, I'm laughing because they're true. I forget that Leon literally tells him, like,
I'll help you tomorrow.
We'll do this tomorrow, dude. Let me just do, the whole champion ceremony and all that shit, and then once I'm still champion, I'll come over here and help you. And Rose is like,
nah.
Nah.
And the funny thing about that, just to take a tangent from my tangent, is that you can justify that Leon loses the championship because he's exhausted from fighting Eternatus. So, going back to my rant, they had the pieces. They had the pieces to make this interesting, and those pieces are in Swordward and Shieldbert, or whatever their frickin' name is.
I think that's their name.
And you're gonna think I'm crazy, but here's why. The concept of ancient descendants wanting to reestablish the monarchy is actually really interesting and is a fascinating concept. And I feel that would have been more interesting to establish with Rose. I genuinely think that's more interesting. And you could have had this whole thing of this is how part of why he's taken over so much of the Galar using soft power and just like infiltrating different industries. And that could be him trying to build up this power again for the monarchy. Then when he brings about the Darkest Day, it's not so much for a faraway altruistic reason. It's more for a selfish reason of wanting to establish that he should be in control. And that makes the player fighting alongside the Sword and Shield dogs so much more powerful in the context of the game. Because they are using his family's power against him when he is trying to absurd it again. And it was such a missed opportunity that they had so many little pieces there. Rant over.
Well, shit. I mean, you are right, and for the sake of not making this video any much longer than we got to, there is something that the last unicorn knows, or I believe, unless she already looked it up, which I asked her not to, does not know about the DLC. Have you looked up what the Diglets do?
No, I haven't. You told me so specifically not to look it up.
Yes. Okay, so for anyone that doesn't know, I want to call this out real quick. There's 151 Diglets that you gotta find in the DLC. One of them is going to you for free, so you need to find 150, which is really, first off, is really cool because that's the original Pokedex numbers. So I thought that was pretty cool. But depending on how many Diglets you turn into the lady or person, to whatever the hell, they gave you a reward, which is the Alolan versions of the Pokemon.
That's cool.
Alolan Bullpix is like, I think, 30?
Wait, you can get Alolan Bullpix.
Yes!
Oh no! Oh no! Oh boy.
Go find those Diglets.
I'm going after those Diglets now. Oh my god. Is this why you wanted me to wait?
Yes.
Literally, my freaking avatar is just a Jinka of a Alolan Vulpix.
Of Alolan Bullpix, yes.
Oh my god. Excuse me. I think I gotta go. I need to find some Diglett.
And with that, we'll end the video. I'm not sure if this video is going up or if the other collab that we have over on the Last Unicorn's channel is going up first. I think we decided on yours going up first, right?
I don't recall.
Ricard? Lit. So, whatever. They should... One of them should still be up, so if you're seeing this one, then you should totally go and subscribe to her. She is great, and she's about to hit 100 subs, actually. Unless you already did.
I am... Last I checked, I was at 95, and I am shook.
Oh, jeez.
I am shook.
Hell yeah, well... Go ahead and go sub to her. Let's go get her to those triple digits. Holy shit, that is amazing.
Oh, and sub to this guy. You better do it, or else.
Or else.
I'm coming for you with my Alolan Vulpix army.
I don't even want to ask how many you have.
I have a shelf. I have a shelf in my room.
I forgot about yourself. Alright, yeah, well, we'll go ahead and leave the rant here. Once again, just remember, this rant isn't because we dislike, it's the exact opposite. We don't dislike the series. We love it, it's just, there's so much, it has so much potential, and feels like they keep dropping the ball with the series. Any last words you got?
I'm looking for the Diglett. Leave me alone.
Alright, we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Later.